All right, guys, it's been a while since I've made a video. Today I'm working on my 2002 Jeep Wrangler TJ Sport. It's got the inline 4.0 6-cylinder. I've had some issues with not necessarily like sticky throttle. It moves just fine, honestly. It just kind of hangs up when you very first hit it. So today I'm going to be taking the throttle body off and cleaning it. I've never cleaned it. This thing's got a salvage motor in it. Throttle body has like 280,000 miles on it. So she's done the job. She's doing good still. No real issues, just going to clean it. So that's what today's going to be about. So stay tuned. All right, guys, first step's going to be removing this air intake tube. I've loosened the clamp there, clamp over there on the air box, and then this PCV breather tube. So she should just pop off as I'm one-handed, just kind of like that. She came right off. So I'm just going to put this old girl to the side here. And there's the throttle body. A little dirty, a little gunky. Kind of see where maybe I pushed with my finger at one point on it, checking it out. I don't know. Next step's gonna be removing these throttle linkages. These are super easy on the TJs. This one you just push forward on. It snaps off just like that. This one, I think it is, yeah, it just pops off like that. It just pushes out, just has a round clip in there. It just pulls off that way. Now that the linkage is free, all we're going to be doing is removing the connectors. This one has the red safety tab on it, so we're going to pull back on that one. That way, push it down and unplug that one. This one should just be a simple, something I did learn in school on these clips. They get really hard to come off. The best way is to push them in a little bit to relieve the pressure on this tab, and then you can pull it out. So I'm gonna get these three sensors unplugged and get the throttle body unbolted. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Then this whole thing should come off. Make sure that you get a new gasket. I did from O'Reilly's. I think it was literally like $8 for a Fel-Pro one. So I always recommend getting a new gasket. Just make sure it seals the best it can. All right, guys, I got the throttle body off the Jeep. What I'm gonna start with, since it is pretty dang dirty in here, bottom of it's pretty carboned up. There's the old gasket. I've got the new one. This actually has a little vacuum port on this sensor, which I found kind of interesting. So make sure that's not cracked or leaking. Mine looks like it's in good shape. So I'm going to take each one of these sensors off, clean them, because as you can see, like up in there, light's not very good, but it's pretty dark and nasty. So I'm going to head and just take this thing all apart, make sure it's nice and clean. That way my engine can run at its best. So just kind of stay tuned. The small one I found is a T15, and the bigger ones are a T25. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these Torx bolts off. Just a reminder, when you're using Torx bolts, don't let your ratchet get crooked or cocked anyway. Get it nice and straight and then torque down on them, because these things really, honestly, really, especially on Jeeps, mainly the body bolts, but these Torx like to strip out pretty easy. So make sure you get a good quality Torx bit and just go nice and easy on them, and they should come right out. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, I took 2 of the 3 sensors off. I took this one off on the side. This is actually a throttle position sensor. It's sealed from the inside out, so you don't really need to take this one off. I ended up reinstalling it. That one I took off with that vacuum port I was talking about. That little vacuum tube was kind of stuck on there, so just kind of rule of thumb with any rubber hose of any kind. If you can get on there, like on this dude I got on here with some needle nose, and if you can twist it, it will come off. If you can't get it to twist, you're just gonna pull and pull and pull, and you can probably break that little plastic elbow there. So if you can twist any rubber hose, whether it's a radiator hose, a little vacuum tube like that, that's how those little suckers will pop up off. This dude, he's pretty dirty, as well as the sensor is pretty nasty. I don't know. I might take it apart here and see if I can just clean the body of it. I think this is a throttle air, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll get this thing all cleaned up, and if anything, should help. All right, guys, I ended up taking that sensor apart. That thing is nasty. It's got all kinds of carbon in it. It's gonna have a really hard time sealing up down in that hole there. So I'm gonna get this all nice and clean. There's a gasket on there. I don't really want to jack with it because I don't have a new one, so I'm just kind of leave it alone. All right, guys, found my headlamp, so that's good. She's all cleaned up, looking a lot better. It's not perfect. I was gonna bead blast the outside, but meh, it's going on the old trail pig, so not a huge deal. That's clean. That's a lot cleaner. Not perfect, but a lot better. This is a lot better. I cleaned the mating surface there, and then inside here, got that pretty well clean. That I failed. I got a little too aggressive, so I'm gonna put a little RTV on there, stick it on there, and hope for the best. If not, I'll probably just go get a new sensor. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, she's back together, nice and clean. Everything seemed to go on pretty good, so we'll see how this does. All right, guys, just because I'm kind of picky, I got my brand new gasket, but I'm gonna clean up that intake a little bit before I shove everything back on, just so she looks kind of nice. So I'm gonna clean that and I'll be right back. All right, guys, everything's all hooked up. Air intake, PCV breather, all the sensors, throttle linkage. Don't forget your little red tab on that little dude there. Mine came all the way out, so everything's all hooked up. This is as raw as it gets. I have not started it yet, so let's see what we got here. Also, I got a new shop with a lift in it. It's pretty sweet. And the time that I made the last video. Make sure she's in neutral. So far, so good. Little fluctuation. Throttle's definitely smoother. All right, guys, thanks for watching. For those of you that are wondering, this is my 02 Wrangler TJ. Got a 4.5-inch Quadratech lift, short arm, some 33 Goodyear Duratrax on it. These tires are amazing. I went with the Hydro Shocks just because they ride a little smoother. I've got a transfer case drop on it right now, but I plan to get rid of that and do a slip yoke eliminator. I have recoated the frame. As you can see, it looks nice. It's a very clean Jeep. So yeah, but yeah, she's got lots of miles. She's got 269,000, so she keeps on going. Thanks for watching.